private chat, can you put those topics up again?
Yeah, I got you. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bro Talk. It's really good to be here. Uh, yeah, it's just good to be here again. I'm here with my brother, bRho Smith. Bro, I almost said your whole name because it was your birthday last week, but I almost said your whole name, man. But hey, if you're watching us for the first time, we want to thank you so much for being here on this show. We talk about manhood, brotherhood, and fatherhood. And we talk about an array of topics that affect men, specifically in those three areas I just mentioned. And so for today, we're trying to figure out what in the world is going on. There's so many things that are happening in our world. There are executive orders, there's fear mongering, there's misinformation, there's just downright idiocy that's happening as well. And so tonight, I think it's we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it because it's affecting our families, it's affecting us, it's affecting the places where we work. There are certain jobs now that have been eradicated because people think that merit is the only way that people get chosen. Um, but anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. bRho, man, you should have stopped me because I was about to go on the roll.
Go get your roll on. Get your roll on.
I was about to be on the road, man. But hey, man, we always start this show. If you just listen to us for the first time, this is how we rap. This is how we connect. We get together. If you got anything that you want to add in the chat, go ahead and put that in there. Giraffe Neck, he gonna be here in a minute. AKA Isaac Bliss. So we'll see him in a few. And MG, also known as Mark Guthrie. I don't know where Mark at, man. Normally he's here. I hope he's all right. He probably got his socks off.
Yo, you so random. It does.
All right, man. I'm gonna quit with the jokes, so they're not here to defend themselves. But I know Isaac gonna have something to say when he get on. B, what's going on, man?
Man, nothing, man. God is good. It was a great weekend. My mom's birthday was Saturday. We celebrated her.
Shout out to moms, man.
Yeah, man.
You are her twin, bro.
You know what?
Your brother Mubarak, man. Y'all are her twins, bro.
It's funny you say that because I heard that today earlier.
Did you really?
I did. And my whole life, people would be like, "Oh, y'all look just like your dad. Y'all look just like your dad." And then I remember my wife. She would say when she really got around my family, she was like, I thought you looked like your dad. Yeah. You look like your mom.
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
I knew that. When I seen her, I knew that.
Yeah.
But you
know.
But you are a blend of both, for sure. But I think just certain, your face, I think more is like your mom, and I would definitely say your build is definitely like Pops for sure. Because Pops was strong, man, even at a whole age, man.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. Man, he still got the grit, bro.
My head size, I definitely got from Pops. My nephew.
Man, much love to him, man, for sure.
Shout out to my nephew, Lil Wallace. He is.
It was his birthday, right?
His birthday was also last week.
Okay.
So mine was the Friday before that. Last Friday. His was this past Thursday, then my mom's was Saturday. His was the 23rd, my mom's the 25th. But I say that to say, we were getting ready for the gender reveal, and everybody was like, "Oh, is the boy, is the girl, is the boy, is the girl?" I said, man, I took one look at that ultrasound pic, and I saw the size of the head, and I said,
"You already knew what time it was."
I guarantee you, it's a boy. And ask anybody, and you can ask him. We were there. I said, "Oh, I didn't need a gender reveal." Yeah. Once I saw the head, I said, "Oh, that's a boy." I said, "That's a Smith head."
Yeah. And lo and behold,
We got Wallace number 5 coming on.
Oh man, congratulations to him, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I don't even know how old your nephew is, man. He's still like 16 to me. I know he's not.
Yeah,
that
man.
age,
yeah, yo,
but
26, man.
oh,
26.
26.
Yeah.
Wow.
26.
Wow, man.
Right.
Man,
right.
time flies, man.
And I'm telling you, I remember when I was an arm baby, man. That was my guy. Yeah. You know, man, it's crazy how fast the time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mom's birthday celebration. Man, shout out to my little bro Taj, man. It was his birthday, was Friday. Okay. Went and sat with him, and you know what I mean. We had a good time laughing, chopping it up with him and his wife. They new baby, man. Just had a great time. And then we celebrated my mom, man. And, she's an amazing woman, and we were fortunate enough to celebrate her, and just God blessing her with another year of life and life, health, and strength. So, so that was Saturday, and then yesterday. Matter of fact, before my mom's birthday party, Lil Balade, he participated in a 7-on-7 little scrimmage, and then yesterday after church, he had basketball, AAU, and then football training, and then hey, I was rooting for the Bills. I'm not a Bills fan, but I was rooting for the Bills. But Josh came up small.
Yeah.
If you know,
0-4. He's 0-4.
If you know, you know.
Hey.
If you know, he came up small.
Hey. Yo, Ike.
Yep.
Yo, I called you giraffe neck earlier in the show. I just want you to know, so I didn't say it behind your back.
That's cool. I'm not even going to say what picture you were depicted on. I mean, what animal you were depicted on in that picture. So, we're not even going to go there.
Yo, I told you know, bite back.
You know.
What's up, man? It's good to see y'all, brothers. Isaac,
yes.
Marky, man, it's good to see you, Bruiser.
As always, brother.
Got the SUNY Brockport shirt on, man. Represent. Go Eagles.
Yo, you got the sweater vest on. Like,
yeah, man. I worked today.
I think they coming back though.
You work today. What does that mean?
That means I worked, man. That means that I put on.
He put that sweater.
I did too, man.
Because he said it made him look slim.
Hey, it's working.
All right.
It made him look slim.
It's working, man.
Shout out to my sis Brandy Hayes.
Yeah, she's cooking right now. She ain't listening.
She said it made him look sexy.
Hey, yeah, man. Listen, I do it for her, bro. Hey, February 7th is always etched in my mind, man. Whenever I get around this time of year, I get a little cold. I get a little jittery, man. I just remember the times. Like Michael Jackson. Yeah, man. February 7th, bro.
Nah, cold. You dig yourself holes, man. You gonna sleep in that attic forever.
Nah, it ain't what I'm talking about.
That's
February 7th.
That's the day my daughter was born.
Oh, is it really?
One of them.
Happy birthday to her, man.
No, I got a lot of
that's the day me and bRho became really good friends.
Man, I know, man. I'm honored for the people, man. Kareem, man, to be degreed up like you are, you be having some real slow moments, man.
Hey, man, listen. It comes out when I need it.
Well, what day did you become brothers?
3/27.
Yep, that's right. Nah. As soon as I click send with that money.
The process is different now.
Listen, we was brothers before all this other stuff. But in terms of what we talking about, yeah, as soon as I handed that money over, hey man, we here for life.
Y'all stuck with me. Y'all stuck. Y'all ain't even gotta like me.
It's not like that for everybody. That's not everybody ain't got that same story, you know.
It ain't. So Ike, what you got going on, bro?
Life, man. Life just be lifing. Today was a busy day. I was literally at work until I went to go pick up my daughter in Hilton. It's crazy because I didn't realize I had to go to Hilton to pick her up. I thought she was at gymnastics, which is the only reason I agreed to do it. Shout out to Ezra though. I love you, but I wouldn't have did it if I knew she was in Hilton. But yeah, life is life, and man, just staying busy. Long day at work. Had a long weekend. Ezra, is out of town again. I don't know where she's getting all this money from, but I need to figure out what job she got, because like every time I turn around, she's on the airplane headed somewhere. But
you make the big bucks, so she, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got a husband who got it like that.
Nah, she doesn't. I don't know what y'all talking about, but it must be some other dude y'all talking about, because it's not me. I ain't got it. But I want to shout out Jenna. She had her baby shower.
Congrats,
weekend.
Jenna.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I saw the photos, man. She looked really beautiful, man, in those photos.
For sure.
Shout
She got the whole crew back together. That we had a chance to meet at Brew House. You know what I mean? Some of the original little sisters that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Man,
they was always studying.
Those were the baby sisters, like the original little sisters, man. Man, Mabel and the crew, man. They was my big sisters. They was like, yo, I used to get into so much trouble. Like, man, I ain't even doing nothing. I wasn't even doing nothing. But man, they would tell Brew everything. They told Brew everything.
Yeah, man.
Hey, we don't have that much time on the show, man.
Yeah, they told Brew everything.
I want my brother to sleep in the bed, not on the couch.
Nah, but hey, I didn't even get in no trouble. I was just like, man, they told Brew everything.
Listen, I'm always gonna sleep in the bed. You can be mad on the other side, but my side is my side. You know what I mean?
He said, my side is my side.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold y'all though, but
no, you ain't gotta put yourself out there like that.
You right.
We know, man.
You're right.
Blink once if you all right, man. Just, you know what I mean? There you go. We good. Everything okay.
Yo, my brother got a nice meal waiting for him when he get off the show.
I sure do, man. I got fish, rice, and green beans.
Yeah, look how happy he got though.
Listen, food is his happy place.
It is, man. It's a nice place for me, man. Speaking of food, man. Bro, what's going on, bro? I know you cooking up something, man. You got some sorrel, some cabbage, and corned beef and hash and all that. What you got going on?
I don't have nothing like that going on today, my brother.
Oh man, shout out to nephew in the back. I see him walking around.
I'm sorry, man, but I'm gonna do some jerk chicken tomorrow.
Okay,
man. Listen,
yeah,
with some Jamaican rice and peas.
Okay.
So some peas from Jamaica.
Okay.
And shout out to the jerk chicken, man.
Yeah.
Yo, why Jamaican people always like say rice and as one word? Rice and peas.
That's
one word, man.
It sounds poetic though when they say rice and peas.
Want
I'm like, yo, what kind of food are you making?
We want engagement in the chat, but that's gonna get a whole different kind of engagement.
That's what it is, though.
They about to be at you.
Rice and peas.
Rice and peas, man.
Yo, I went to the lady down the street from my crib, right? I had usually on Fridays I try to go and support one of the local Jamaican spots that I like, one of the few. And I had got some fish.
So, you need like like one of those speech writers or something. Like somebody like, yo, nah, don't say that. Say this, don't say that.
There's a joke there, man. Like I'm gonna let it pass though.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna just keep it in my head and laugh to myself.
So I had got some rice and peas and some cabbage and some whiting, right? So I wanted the pepper sauce. She was like, "You gonna put that pepper sauce on my fish?" I was like, I guess. I guess I ain't supposed to put pepper sauce on there though, but I'm just kind of used to doing it. But I don't know.
Nah, it's like you if you go to the barbershop, right?
Yeah.
And you get your hair cut,
and
then you get out the chair and throw a hat on. That's
like I did the other day.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't do it again. I was like, all right, you got it.
That's disrespectful. You know what I mean? So if somebody done put their love into cooking and preparing food,
she definitely did.
And then you say, hey, I need that sauce to actually make this food that you done put your heart in. I need that sauce because otherwise it don't taste like nothing.
You know, the way that you framed it made it seem like I'm really a jerk.
Yeah, listen, that's how she felt. Like, yo, you about to put the pepper sauce on my fish, like, man, like I didn't cook this and season it and make this to perfection.
She made it to perfection, man. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about over in Gates Plaza.
I have no clue. Oh, that's yeah, I'm not a big fan, but shout out to them though.
Shout out, yeah.
Shout out to all the
other people, man.
All the black businesses, man. Shout out to all the black.
Oh yeah, how you gonna say that? And you talk.
I just said I'm not. I said I'm not a fan. Like there's things that I like that other people love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I don't like that other people love. So shout out to you and them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to them, man. I'll be back on Friday.
Yo, for that same fish, no pepper sauce.
Yeah, none. I don't get no pepper sauce, man. I be wanting them oxtails, man. But you get an oxtail, shoot, kind of like $30. Good Lord, that's why we need bRho back in the Rock, man. So I gotta pay all that money.
Man, listen, man. If bRho come back, we opening the restaurant, man.
If bRho come back, I will pay that money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. If bRho come back, we open.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
They still ain't have no
spots. They don't add up, man.
They still don't have no good food in college.
That's why I be hesitant to eat somebody else's Jamaican cuisine, bro. Because you ain't here.
It's not good like these.
So if you do come back to the Rock for whatever reason, man, yeah, we're gonna open up that restaurant. All you gotta do is cook, and we'll hire somebody to manage all the other stuff. We just need you in the kitchen. That's it. We take care of the rest.
I got the rest. Like, yo, just tell us, man. I'll bust the tables. I'll wash dishes, whatever y'all need, man.
I'll do social media.
Okay, yeah, because we can't. You know what I mean? We can't have you near the food because then we won't have nothing to sell. You know what I'm saying? We'll be working against ourselves.
Listen, I worked in a restaurant before, man. I do have some sort of discipline.
Listen, I'll bring my kids. They can be free labor.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I done seen kids grow up in restaurants, man. They went on, got an education, and them kids doing their thing right now. Same kid used to ring me up.
Yo, speaking of which, man, I watch a lot of Food Network, man. And
that's still on?
Yep.
I don't have cable no more, man, so I've been missing it.
Yes, still on.
Yes, thank you. So
yeah, they got YouTube, you know.
Yeah. So
I watch other stuff.
So one
Which y'all like Kareem don't have to like, you know what I mean? But still support.
One of my favorite chefs on there is a brother. His family, he's of African descent. He's got a dope restaurant in the DMV area. And he's
Milk and Honey?
Huh?
Milk and Honey?
No, if my wife is on, she Toy put the name of the restaurant in the chat. He was robbed recently, man. Shot all up. So is
he alive still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it happened in Maryland here too.
Yep.
Jeez.
Like it's right outside like the Baltimore DMV area.
I think it was a football player. Wasn't he a football player?
He used to be a professional football player. He grew up into Kareem. I was just, touching on Kareem's point. He grew up in his dad's restaurant. You know what I mean? And that's how after he retired from football, he opened up his own restaurant, man. And the dude phenomenal. He's been all over the Food Network, on food competitions. He's just, man, a really, really dope brother. And so, you know, the Huncho House. Yeah.
All right, we're going to check that out then.
Yeah.
Next
You know what I
time we
mean?
go.
And Brother Man is recovering. And so,
Good.
you know, man, just sending prayers
Terrible
up to him
that
because,
happened.
yeah. But again, you know, like you said, people growing up in those in those restaurants, those family owned businesses, man.
Yeah.
They the work ethic and everything that you learn, you know, growing up in a family owned business where, you know, it stays with you for life.
Yeah.
And those are those same skills and things that he learned in that restaurant, man, catapulted him to the league. And then now he's, again, just a successful restaurateur.
Yeah. Man, shout out to him and prayers for the recovery, man. And that business continues to do well, even while he's recovering.
You muted, bro.
Yeah.
I'm glad that, you know, he's recovering, and his recovery was pretty good. It was a couple months ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was real touch and go too early on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man. So, you know, we want to get into our discussion for today. And so earlier I alluded to some of the things that's been happening, you know, in the United States specifically. One of those topics being diversity, equity, and inclusion, and now belonging. That term has been coined. That people have been using it, I think, for the last few years. There's also immigration. So kind of what we were talking about earlier, a little bit, you know, about immigration and some of the, I guess in Rochester.
Talking about immigration. You be.
I tried to lead y'all to the water.
Yeah,
but let's start with DEI first, man. I think that's something, man, for us to discuss. Is something that's on people's minds right now. I've been seeing posts about it. I posted about it this past weekend and got some dialogue, you know, around that. But I think the first thing to do is for us just to kind of have a conversation on what DEI is, you know, what's the goal, what it's not. I think it's important for us to educate, you know, for those who might not be familiar with that.
It is not allowed in the federal government anymore. That's what it is.
That's by bRho.
Word. Thanks to them folks down in DC.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I could probably say it real simple is that what DEI is really about making sure that people who have normally have been overlooked, and it's not just race, it's gender, it's sexual orientation, it's disabled peoples, disabled veterans, you know, those who wouldn't have gotten, or in the past have not gotten considered for specific jobs, for them to at least be able to get into the pool in order to interview and to be able to showcase their skills. You know, for somebody who's hired people, fired people, promoted people, is one of the things they tell us very clearly is that we can't discriminate folks based on who they are, what they look like, what they believe, you know, things of that nature, and that everybody should have an equal and equitable opportunity, you know, to be able to apply and interview for jobs based upon, you know, their qualifications. And
but we know that some.
I know we getting there. We getting there. I'm just setting it up, bro.
Salute.
I'm just setting it up.
I understand, you know, it's a family show, so I'm doing good. So
I'm just setting it up.
You know what I'm saying?
just setting it up. I'm gonna let y'all have it though. I'm just setting it up. And most human resources, well, there's the law is that, you know, it should be equal opportunity employers, right? So everybody should have equal opportunity. Now, with all of that said, what DEI is not is that if you're black and there's a job, we don't just pick you because you're black.
Now let me take it a step further than that.
Take it a step further for us.
What DEI is not it's not giving someone an opportunity that they're undeserving of, or they otherwise wouldn't be qualified for. That's not what DEI is. It wasn't what affirmative action was. it's giving people who often
that's what Trump's cabinet is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Right.
I mean, he himself is unqualified, but nobody talking about that.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hey, you know what I mean?
Shots fired.
Yeah. So if we talking about, you know what I mean, if we talking about DEI, it's kind of interesting that this administration is getting rid of DEI under the rationale or logic or reasoning that it's people who are unqualified for a job shouldn't or for an opportunity shouldn't receive that opportunity. Meanwhile, the person who's signing it as an executive order isn't qualified. But you know,
I mean,
and nearly almost every one of his picks, you know,
right.
for those positions, for those secretary positions.
Yeah.
Here we are, and so I think that is my issue with the entire the entire issue is that somehow the narrative around it has been spun that DEI is giving people opportunities that they're unqualified or undeserving of. No, it's showing now. Let's think about this, right? Let's think about this. Think of a place or space or an arena where Black and brown folks exist, people of any color, or ethnicity. But when you say Black and brown, that can pretty much encompass the entire shade of spectrum of ethnicities, right? Mm. And when you think about that, think of a space or place in which they exist that they have not brought the most innovation to. You know what I mean? In medicine, the first open heart surgeries in the technology. We just the movie
Hidden Figures, right? Oh,
Hidden Figures. You know
Hidden Figures, yeah.
The
qualified. I heard that.
Calculations,
right? Huh? No, I'm saying she was qualified. I mean, she was a math genius.
Beyond that, you know what I mean? Beyond
they all were geniuses.
Like beyond the qualifications, they developed the calculations to make the space launch possible. You know
and nobody else could do that. Is that a correct statement?
So yeah. So when we're talking about DEI in this idea that it's giving people who are otherwise unqualified, an opportunity. No, it's giving people who would otherwise be discriminated against an opportunity to show how much value and how worthy they are and how deserving they are of being in the space. So yeah. I think this false narrative that's being spun is really at the core and the heart of the issue.
So let's just ask the question that's on that I think is on the table, right? Why would there be a push for people to say, well, we want to hire folks based upon merit? Well, what is that insinuating? Is that insinuating that only a certain group of people are qualified and others are not?
I don't think so. I think what it does is it gives the people in power the opportunity to revert back to a time when they could hire their entire, family or friends or support system or people that they're trying to get money from without scrutiny. And I think that's what the whole idea, that's from their perspectives, right? The whole idea with DEI puts a stop to that. So now I can't hire 98% of the people that I know. I had with, the DEI regulations or whatever, that are put on these organizations to say 30% or 40% need to be BIPOC or, have X background. It takes away from those jobs now that they would be able to give to their unqualified nieces and nephews and friends. So I think that's a big part of it is, not having that same level of access, or not having the same amount of opportunity for their people. And that's what the whole idea around DEI is really all about, right? Is trying to create those opportunities where that type of practices happen in these societal structures that have these, lucrative opportunities for people to be able to grow and develop and move out of situations where they find themselves in struggling, and give those opportunities to deserving people of color. So, I think that's kind of where we are right now, and we'll see, if that comes true. You can see a lot of organizations right now some organizations right now backing out of their DEI practices and getting rid of DEI officers, that they had put in place, and getting away from those programs that they had put in place. Like Target, I think, was one of the most notable ones now that just, kind of stepped back from those programs and practices. And then you have other organizations like your Costco's and I think it was Apple and a couple others that, are sticking, to those, no matter what the federal government is saying at this point in time. They're sticking to those laurels. So it's just going to be really interesting to see, now that in the federal government that, that's not a requirement to have DEI programming and DEI placements and DEI and opportunities like that say you have to have this percentage of people of color or minorities or, women in these positions. What's going to happen over the next 4 years, with those positions? It'll be interesting to see.
One of the things, man, one of my professors talked about are these 3 fears that our brothers and sisters that are our white brothers and sisters, some of them have, not all, because some of them have been allies, they have spoken up, they have really taken to, this fight before all this even happened. So shout out to all those folks that's riding for humanity in general. But one of the fears that I think is happening right now, and it started with, I think, when President Barack Obama, put some respect on his name, is that there's this fear of loss of power and privilege. The fact that this country is becoming more and more melanated by the day, and the dominant or the soon-to-be former dominant culture is doing whatever they need to do in order to maintain control. I think that's why we're getting a lot of these laws and policies that are happening right now. Things are being reversed because when you think about making America great again, what does that really mean? That means that we go back to a time, like you said, Isaac, where, I can hire my brother, my cousin, I can hire this person, that person, I can contract federally with whoever I wanted to, and I can leave those people out. They don't get any of the money, right? And so I think that's a big thing. And also when we think about like even making money right now, like, yes, there's been talks about by 2050 that, the spending power of Black folks will be down to whatever, zero, whatever they be talking about. But I think right now is the opportunity for us to really be able to pull those resources together, man. Like we have it. I mean, look at the amount of Black millionaires that we have now compared to 10, 20 years ago. And not even just us. We got our Latino brothers and sisters. We got our, Indian and Asian brothers and sisters, man. Like this country in like the next 50 years is going to look totally different. It's not going to look how it did when we first started. So I think there's that. And the last one is, I think there's that fear of being misunderstood and excluded. So there could be a time where we will be the majority, and then maybe they'll feel excluded out. And I think there's just a lot of this revolves around fear. And I think what we're trying to say is that we just want everybody to have an equal opportunity to the bag. If y'all holding the bag and y'all only giving us a few, but y'all keeping the rest, we just saying, man, that's not fair. And I think the small business owners too I think are the ones who really misunderstand this, running small companies, probably feeling like I'm being made to do something that I don't want to do. But a lot of times in those small companies, like I told somebody yesterday, you hire people that you like. and people that you like to work with, and you hire people that look like you. That happens a lot. That's human nature. You know, they don't always hire folks based upon how good they are. I mean, people have hired high school, college interns coming in making 70, 80, $90,000. Them jokers just started. But you got other people that are more qualified, who can't even get their foot in the door. And that's what we're talking about.
But I think it extends beyond just the workforce, right? When you're talking about, rolling back or repealing DEI practices and policies, that impacts institutions of higher ed. It's the trickle down or the domino effect of it. It's going to be absolutely felt in the in terms of the marketplace, employment marketplace, but the reach is so broad. So what happens when you apply to a particular school and you don't get accepted, and they it's because, again, somebody's legacy is getting into a school, and they're saying, well, you came from this inner city high school, so the let's say, or let's presume, the academic rigors weren't as strenuous as this private institution that a legacy of our institution graduated from. You know what I mean? It's so they're going to package it so many ways that is again, it's tragic that we're even entertaining that again, that this could be, that this is the agenda that we're looking. You know what I mean? To me, the what's the worst part about it is people said, like, yo, this is what was going to happen.
I wrote it in the paper, man, like 5 months ago.
People said this is what's going to happen.
The Simpsons talked about it 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. But people, you know what I mean? People said, hey, vote like your life depends on it, because it does. Because if this happens, this is what we're looking at. And everybody's like, no. And then here we are. And
you know who dropped the ball, right? You know who dropped the ball? One of the folks that dropped the ball, or one of the groups, is black men in terms of voting.
Yeah, black men and
like that.
Not only black men, but
not only us.
Not
black
only us.
People, period. I think there was just too many people that didn't get their behinds up and go vote. And I think a lot of people will use that excuse. Well, I don't want to just vote for Kamala because she's black either, right? And I don't believe everything that she believes. Like, you shouldn't believe anything that this dude believes, right? And I think that alone is enough to
but they rather not vote
off the couch and go click or go bubble in a sheet and slide that thing through the machine. Like,
that's the ignorance.
Because that's and then this is the situation we're in now. So I say wait and see, right? Because now we have to wait, unless I can't say I'm live on air, but unless he's not here in a few years, we gotta ride this out for 4 years. And if he was able to go through and make all these changes and put all these executive orders in place on day one, I'm sure this
changing the Constitution.
This 2025 thing is
so it's
not far away.
It may not be just another 4 years, because again,
he ain't getting that through. But I feel you,
bro. It's all Republican in there.
If it's a game of numbers right now, the numbers favor him.
Yeah, nah, that's not.
Well,
listen,
that means
I don't want to see it happen. But again, if it's a game of numbers,
he's not gonna get a third term, man. That's
Obama.
Hey,
you listening, man?
Listen, man. I look at.
Nah, the way it's. Oh, go ahead.
I look at the other. We're talking about voting, and we're looking at a race that didn't really vote. That voted his way, and now they're crying. Now, boy, the ice baby is knocking at their door.
Listen, I'm sure there's some.
That's wild though.
There was a lot of Mexican people or people of Hispanic descent, I think, that were kind of backing him as well too.
And the
What's crazy is like they family members ain't gonna be here in a couple
one of the first executive orders was like, yo, no, you know what I mean, was no birth naturalization citizenship.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Like to roll back that like is
but how you vote for somebody thinking whatever you was thinking and then turn around and they basically crap on you. Like, that's gangster.
What
right
you mean?
there.
Like, people do that all the time.
He told you he was gonna do it. He told them that he was gonna do it, bro.
He did.
And they still voted for this dude.
Yeah, they did.
People do it all the time.
He told them he was gonna do it.
Yeah, in regard, I'm just gonna say too, in regard to the voting him in for a third term too. Chanel made a good point. He, in addition to getting the votes, he'll need 38 states to buy into that as well too.
Okay.
So yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I don't think he's got enough time. They don't even got enough time to try to put something like that.
He had to try it though. He had that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, because he doesn't want to go to jail when he gets out of office.
That's all it's about. Yep.
Like he's got to try to find ways where he can stay in power, because like if he falls out of graces, let's say he does something dumb during this presidency, right? And all the people that he was promising stuff to, he reneges on it and he don't get it to him. I promise you this dude is going to end up in jail. I mean, you heard the results of his of his case, and the judge saying the only reason that you're getting this this judgment is basically because you're about to be the president of the United States. Everybody else that was a part of that case, that got convicted on the case just like he did, was arrested and spent time in jail, right? The exact same case, right? So there's no way that he got off because he didn't do anything, the way he's telling people and the way he has America think more than half of America, I guess we could say, at least more of the voting half of America believing his rhetoric that he didn't do anything wrong.
There's more, you know what I mean? The amount that came out, he got more than 50%. You know what I mean? But it boils down to power. My dad used to say this from the time I was a small child. He said, power concedes nothing without a struggle. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know what I mean? So this, when you think somebody who is rich and wealthy, the only reason that the office of president would appeal to somebody, like, think about it. What's the salary for somebody in that who is the president? It's like 144,000. It's nothing. It's not anything. You know what I mean? Now it ain't nothing to sneeze at, but it's not like, oh, you're not making millions. You know what I mean?
Nah, but you're getting everything taken care of for 4 years. That's the
there's a bill, like there's a bill on that. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like there's a housekeeping bill. Like, you know what I mean? There's bills associated with living in that establishment. But my point is that if you're
taking care of that, B, he's not paying out of his pocket for that.
Oh no,
we're paying for that.
Absolutely.
So that to Kareem's point, everything is free. Everything around him is free. The bill is there.
What I'm saying is that if you make more money than the salary that's being offered in this position, the only draw to the position is power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Power brings money, right? So when you're making making laws and making these decisions, I mean, it's nothing to whisper into. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she's probably the biggest. I guess her name's out there the most for this, but her husband does all of their investing, right? And then this dude he doesn't make a bad investment. I can't tell you the last time he made a bad investment. If it was probably just for a tax write-off. But he knows ahead of time somehow that, these policies are about to come, down that are going to influence a war, or, so you're going to go invest in this company, or they're going to influence the EV companies, or they're going to influence solar energy. So you go and invest in these companies, a month or two ahead of time before.
There's a word for that, right? Isn't there a word for that?
Yeah, you need to be in jail. There's a few words for it, but yeah, insider trading. It happens, and I think there's some fights within the government to kind of take that stuff down. But I say that to say, like, when you're in a position of power, it's not a matter of making money today, because you're setting up relationships and you're setting up policies that when you get out of office, or the whoever's running your company right now, you give them a text message or a quick call from a burner phone to say, do this, in preparation of what's coming down the pipeline. So, the money piece of it is always going to be there when you're in a position of power like that.
Yeah, that's the truth, because y'all know who's got ties to the new Buffalo Bills stadium being built, right?
Don't say 47.
Nah, do Google search it. Do a quick Google search. Who's or somebody who knows, throw it in the chat if you know. But they're the spouse of someone who holds a very high office in this state.
Oh, Stefanik.
Excuse me?
Don't
Stefanik?
guess. Stop guessing.
Who is it? Oh, you said stop guessing.
Yeah, you didn't learn that after February 7th? Man.
I don't have no more consequences.
He went to Gates. I'm sorry. He went to Gates. You know what I'm saying? Common wasn't that common over in Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Gates.
All right, there's the Pagulas. I know about that.
Yeah, but you keep digging. You'll
digging.
Yeah, you'll see. But yeah, to me it's this idea that we're gonna that because to me the inference or the implication is that Black and brown people are unqualified. You know what I mean? That's the implication. That's the implication, is that Black and brown people are unqualified if DEI is
Oh, Vince Carter. Oh no. Never mind.
Man,
it says it right here.
That's why they don't.
Vince Carter and T-Mac are now minority owners in the Bills, in the Bills organization. No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about.
Are they cousins?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that?
But I tell you offline if somebody don't throw it up in the chat.
Well, one of the things that's why they don't want to give us a team on our own. They don't want to give us one of these teams, these professional teams on our own.
Yeah,
that's
man. We win the Super Bowl every year.
Huh?
Win the Super Bowl every year. Or win the championship. It's bigger than that though, because the stadiums and the people that own these teams, they are ingrained into the community. It's like when in Buffalo, everybody knows that during football season, Sunday is for the Bills. Everything. So everything revolves around that.
So let's okay. So
I mean, not anymore. Not after.
Yo, that was grimy.
17 came up short.
Nah, shout out to the Buffalo Bills on a great.
Nah, yeah, it's inside joke. Shout out, man.
They had a great season.
Hey, shout out to Dogs, man, and JoJo.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know Dogs is hurting.
Yeah, listen. Man, listen. I ain't seen Dogs this quiet in the chat in a while. That's my guy. But I was like, oh, listen, hey, everybody, I need everybody who's watching, man, please do me a favor. If you have family or friends who are Bills fans, check on them.
Please do.
They are not okay today.
Yeah, man. Put an APB out on.
They are not okay.
They're not the only one though. All these Washington Commanders fan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
not okay.
They was riding the dream, man. They was
yo,
riding
but shout
the
out to the
dream.
Commanders though, man. A freshman QB.
Oh yeah, you mean a rookie QB?
I'm sorry, that's a freshman, a rookie QB.
Yeah. You can say it was his freshman season, though. I mean, it's interchangeable.
Yeah,
A black
I
quarterback
guess
at that.
Yeah, I mean we
Yeah,
got
no, he did his thing, man.
Jalen in there though. We got Jalen in there.
Where's Jalen? What school did Jalen go to?
Jalen Hurts. He went to Alabama initially.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, O said Danny is not okay. But yeah. So, but then after Tua took over the starting job in Alabama, he transferred and played his last year at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
With Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley really helped develop him as a passer to football, because that's not something that if you look at quarterbacks who played in Nick Saban's system, he'll have great offensive coordinators, but they don't necessarily develop as throwers, because he builds his teams around the defensive side of the ball in an amazing. I mean, he had Derrick Henry, who was a Heisman winning running back, Najee Harris, Mark Ingram. Like, the dude got. I mean, he's going to position his team to win at the highest level, but he's got a formula that he does to do it, and it's not centered around the quarterback. Well, at least not the quarterback being able to throw the ball. That's another conversation. But
he ain't there no more. So,
but yeah,
let's say him left.
He had the game. The game was changing too much. The landscape of college football changing through the NIL. He knew his days were numbered. So to maintain the legacy that he had as the greatest college football coach ever,
it's called Coach Prime effect.
There you go. See, Bru going to tell it. Bru going to tell. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, in the spirit of Bru, I'm going to tell it.
Thank you.
There are taxpayer dollars, billions of taxpayer dollars being poured into this Buffalo Bills stadium. That was one of the only ways that the Wilsons, the Ralph Wilsons, who owns the Buffalo Bills, that was the only way they were gonna be able to keep the Bills in Buffalo, and not. I think Toronto was like where they were strongly considering moving the team to, or maybe it was just that was the chess move to say, hey, if y'all want us here, y'all gonna have to pony up some money, so we don't have to pony it all up. Well, taxpayer monies are being invested by the billions into going to this new Bill Stadium, and Governor Hochul's husband's got ties to the contracting company, one of the contracting agencies who won the bid to be a part of building the new stadium.
Wow.
So yeah, just what I mean.
Wow.
So there's that, right?
But they mad because the pastor riding around with a Mercedes Benz, but yet you getting $1 billion contracts and nobody's looking into that. Okay.
Not millions. Put a B on that. Billions.
And then we get cut out of these deals a lot. Like, I don't know if people understand that. Like, my short stint of working in government, when I see how these contracts was going through, I was like, yo, hold on. How they getting this? And then you got people getting recurring money. Nobody says nothing. They're like, oh yeah, this person here, give them this. I was like, bro, I don't even know who is this?
And now, now there's no DEI, right?
Oh, okay. We get cut out of stuff, man. So if y'all watching this and y'all think it's just about hiring, it's about the contracts. And then even when DEI was in effect, we would at least get in the pool for the subcontracts. And that's really where they be cheating people, is in the subcontracts. Part of it is that we be so happy to get a contract. Sometimes we short ourselves. But it's really about being the primary, getting the contract, having control of the money. I mean, we see it in nonprofit organizations. It's the same thing. You'll get this organization, made mostly a white male or whatever, and then they'll have the money, and then they'll want to do stuff for our kids. and then they want to give us like a few dollars.
Oh shoot, Kareem,
to work with our kids.
You about to lose some social media
followers. Hey, it's all right.
Your
hey,
Facebook friends about to go down.
Hey man, listen, the truth is the truth, bro. I've seen it happen. I've watched it.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
and then want to get mad when the kids really take to us and they trying to understand, like, how does this work for you? But when I try to bring my people in, it don't work for them. Okay. Well, maybe one, because they don't take to you. Maybe two, they just see you for who you are. And they just don't rock with you. And they rocking with us. But we get paid. We're not me, but we're getting paid because I've been in the position before, these little dollars. And then we're seen as indispensable. This is what we're talking about. But people don't see this. What they see is
seen as very dispensable.
Very, very, very much so.
Not indispensable.
You're right. I used the wrong word. Indispensable. Yes. Yeah. We'll just get another black male, 26, 27.
With a sweater vest.
With a sweater vest on and a beard and glasses, you know, and a red polo shirt. That's how it goes.
Sounds like me.
Don't even talk about real estate. We can't even get into that. Like all the buildings that are going up, name somebody of color that has the primary contracts for those. It's the same people all the time. This is locally. It's the same people all the time. Like, I'm not mad at them. I'm upset at the system. Like, the system ain't fair. Well, I am kind of mad at them. I am. But, like, it's just not. The system's not fair. It's not set up for people of color. It's not set up for women. It's not set up for those who think differently. It's set up for one specific group. History has shown that over and over again. And people to say that that's not true or we don't know what we're talking about, just go read.
And these are new executive orders, man. What's interesting is we have a few grants that I manage, and one is a federal grant that we just received this past year. And what was interesting is after literally the day after Trump signed these orders into law, we got a letter to cease and desist any DEI activities that may be going on within that grant. I mean, with this, you know, it's a grant through the, I'm not even going to say it on here, but it's a federal, from a federal agency, a federal department. And we got the letter saying that you have to stop any, like if you had staff that were in DEI positions and doing DEI work, they were pretty much done. You know, they couldn't work anymore. Wow. And then there's going to be trainings that are going to be coming out that is going to tell you what type of activities you can and cannot do based off the new legislation that's been put into place. So if you think it's a joke, like it is very real. So this is going to be probably affecting some nonprofits or some cities or some other small state and city level government agencies on how they're using federal dollars, because now any federal dollars that a lot of these programs are pass-throughs, and we have some of those as well too. bRho, you can kind of attest to that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens based on all of these executive orders that just been put in place, and what the trickle-down effect is going to be on local organizations.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, one of so the federal dollars that are tied to and that have historically been tied to sexual health education and pregnancy prevention, STD, STI prevention, those monies again immediately dissolved. And it immediately dissolved. And this happened the last term. You know what I mean? Those monies were immediately dissolved upon his, him signing that executive order.
Yep.
And so
at that point, it's up to the states whether or not they're going to put it back in. So
exactly. So then the state which only again, there's only so much money to go around. Then has to try to Isaac's point, figure out or decide if where to supplement. You know what I mean? Those monies, and that's, man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because you see it again. You see the domino effect or the the butterfly effect of these pin swipes, and it's man, it's lives are impacted. You know what I mean? Lives are changed by these decisions that are made with very kind of insensitive hearts.
Well, let's just make sure, man, we call our people who are doing this work. I called several people today, not specifically working DEI or something along those lines, man, just to check up on them. Some of the folks, they don't have federal funds, so they still have the opportunity to reframe how they do things. But like you said, they can at least keep their jobs or keep the money flowing so that they can continue on their livelihoods and not have an interruption with that. But for others, that's not the case. People are being sent home and told not to come back, or some people are leaving the job because it's just too hostile. We haven't even gotten to that part yet about, when you actually get into a place where you might be the only one or one of the few, and then the hostility that happens, the microaggressions, especially with our Black women, man, they are the most educated. They also get the most strife in the workplace as well.
I want to say this and kind of let it be, just kind of my last thought or point on it is let's make sure that we understand within the Black and brown community what this really is and what it's about, because to the folks that are watching or will watch, part of how we came up with this as a discussion topic was a video that we shared amongst ourselves with a sister saying, hey, roll back, repeal the DEI legislations, because by the numbers or in the data reports that the highest educated demographic in this country is, and it's factual, is Black and brown women. So Black women, and we salute and we shout you out for that. But that is not the issue. DEI is not a reflection of you not being degreed up and being able to get an interview. DEI is saying, man, this degreed up sister should get an interview. But DEI says, well, where'd she go to school? She went to this historically Black institution. It's not Harvard. It's not, wherever. It's not Berkeley. It's, so now you're passed over for someone who made, and there was, speaking of President Obama, he made a video, and this was some years back, but I recently watched it. It was on my timeline, and he was saying, you get to these institutions, and you think sometimes like, man, you had to be the best and the brightest to make it there, and you get there, and you're like, yeah, there's some really bright and talented people there, and then you find out like there's also some real dull butter knives there too. Not everybody in there sharp. And then and then he said you get to the circles where you in meetings with the world leaders, and you be like, yeah, there's some really sharp people in there, and then you find out there's some real idiots in that room too. And so the reality is unfortunately, that's what is at the core of DEI, and what we have to be conscious of not doing is making ourselves mouthpieces for their narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Do not make yourself a mouth for a false narrative that they want to spin.
That's a word. That's a preach word right there, and that's what some of us been doing, falling into their narrative and repeating it. Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Here's again, it's good. at the risk of saying something that somebody be like, yo, that's man, that you shouldn't feel like that. You should, Isaac brought up the point earlier that people said, well, I don't want to vote for somebody. Um, I don't want to vote for somebody just because or simply because they're black, right? Well, I challenge that and I say, well, are there going to be people who are going to vote the other way simply because that person is black? And if you can reasonably say yes to that, then here we go. You know what I mean? I'm encouraging everybody to be an informed voter. But if there's people who are going to don't get let's not be self-righteous. Let's not be self-righteous and say, well, hey, make sure you know all the policies and I'm not voting for them just because they're black. Like, nah, man, it's people that's gonna vote against if any one of us ran for a public office, there would be people who would not vote for us simply and solely because we're black. So you know what I mean? I am perfectly okay, with somebody saying, well, I'm gonna vote for him simply because he's black, he or her is black, because we know there's people who are gonna vote against for that same reason. So I don't have to justify, positions on, as if that I'm trying to impress somebody else. No, there's, we need to have that kind of same energy around our community, because people definitely gonna have it about theirs. So that's just I feel like let's make sure we know that we're not turning ourselves into mouthpieces for them.
I have a question, man.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, my wheels are turning, and I just want to have a question. And sometimes I don't want to say certain things that will affect some people, but sometimes I really don't care. To us as a people, man, do we listen to each other? Do we like it? Do we understand the dynamic of what happened? What's coming down the pipeline? You know what I'm saying? Before all this stuff happened, you know what I'm saying? As a people, do we understand? I'm talking about us folks, because we always make excuses. And sometimes I don't even listen to the news. And today at my work, I heard my manager was saying something about his DI stuff. I blocked him out, so I really didn't know much about it until really the show and what you guys put in the chat. I did a simple research. I don't let it bother me too much, but still, I'm here thinking like, yo, do we even pay attention? Is it now that we're going to pay attention to stuff that we should have already been paying attention to, and do the thing that get up off our what to go do the things that we needed to do, so we don't have this conversation? Like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm not enjoying talking about this. I'm really not. So for y'all people out there, I may look like I'm disconnected. I am disconnected. You know what I'm saying? I'm disconnected because I don't like BS. I don't like and I have to say it because I wouldn't want to come off this line, man, and be like, yeah, guys, we did great tonight. Yeah, we all go, and I'm not saying what we did tonight is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. Bruce is speaking about Bruce. You know what I'm saying? Because us as a people, man, we need to get it together. Because if we don't get it together, we're gonna keep on complaining. And Kareem, we talk about all we need to be a fair chance. We will never get that fair chance, brother. We will never get it. You understand what I'm saying? If we don't understand the simple thing, man, like, yo, man, this is what he said. And he said it. Mr. Trump didn't hide and say the things that he said. He tell you plain of what he's gonna do. So what is that we don't understand? Are we calling him bluff? I don't know, man. I don't know.
No. So
yeah,
I would say that's a great point. I would say that DEI has its place. When DEI started becoming a buzzword, I don't know, or talked about too much. I guess I'll say it that way, because it's been a buzzword for a little while. But talked about too much. I say a few years ago. I got to the point where I'm just like, yo, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Why are we, kind of hoping that these organizations and stuff buy into this? I know it's a fad. It's going to be here today, gone tomorrow, which I think would have been the case whether this dude got 47 got in office or not, right? Eventually, I think there would have been some trickle effects. However, I think the way that it's being kind of just Band-Aid ripped off of it is going to have a bigger effect on the progress that has been made up until this point. Because now you see how quickly organizations just said, "Forget it, we're not doing that no more," right?
Yeah.
Or this is not I'm not even worried about these black folks over here because I know they're still going to come in. I know they're still going to be the biggest producers. I'm sorry, consumers. I know we're still going to get their money, whether or not this policy is in place. And they knew that 5 years ago, right? They were just waiting for the opportunity to get to the point where they didn't have to do this anymore. So that's why I'm saying with it happening so quickly, what my stance is with it happening so quickly, I think it's going to have a bigger effect on us as a people. What you were just saying, like coming together and figuring and realizing how much power we actually have. And I think that's a lot of the time. A lot of it is just that. Like we don't know the power we have. I don't know if you guys were kind of keeping an eye on the chat, but Tracy kept saying, why doesn't bRho start a business and hire his people? Isaac start a business, hire his people, right? We don't think like that. As collectively as a people, we don't think like that, right? And I think it takes people to have influence and get into positions where they have influence to get that word and get that message out to the masses. And again, that's one of the things I think DEI was helping us do. But now that it's just not there, and we're not gonna have these conversations, we're gonna go back to saying, why don't we just, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do X, Y, and Z? And the response is still going to be because I don't have the opportunity.
All right, so go ahead, finish.
Yeah, so I think that's just where we are as a people, right? If we're talking about coming together, we're talking about supporting each other, we're talking about being in a place where we can thrive and strive. I just don't think we're there yet, and I think that's one of the things that DEI was kind of assisting and supporting us with.
I was sitting here and I'll tell you, my wheels was turning, man. I'm like, man, I'm so tired of this. You know what? I'm so tired, right? Why can't we just put our money together, man? Move our family to Africa or something, man, and put our money together, man, and do something. Get a blueprint or something, and let's go down there and just live our life, man. You know what I'm saying? I was really thinking that before even Tracy said, what Tracy said. You know what I'm saying? I was really thinking like, yo, for years I've been trying to get a couple people together. So, yo, let's make this trip. Because with the brains that we have and the wit that we have and our intelligence about certain things and what we went through in life, there's certain things that we could have done in another part of the world, not just this chaotic world that we live in. And we have our family, we have our kids growing up in this crazy place, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm all for like, yo, man, let's pack it up and bounce if we have a plan. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that it doesn't have to be Africa. It could be someplace else. You know what I'm saying? I know Africa. I see it. I see the potential. I just see it. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things that I definitely wanted to share, man, with bros, man. So because our family is everything. We talk about our family, their safety. We have to continue to finance things for them, college, later on. I remember Ike said something a couple years ago. If my kids don't want to go to college from they have a plan, I'm going to support the plan they have. And he's so right about that. You know what I'm saying? because we push, you know what I'm saying, Caribbean and African parents, man, they come, we push our kids to go to college because that's all we know. You know what I'm saying? Because you go to college, you're gonna get a job. It's not like that no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? If Josiah wanna come up, man, he's a gamer or whatever they call it, and that's what he do, and he's good at it. Hey man, I'm gonna get him these remotes or whatever they call them, thing game, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's what he do.
Get these sticks.
Get these sticks, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he needs, man. I'm gonna get it for him. You need 3 TVs, 75-inch, okay. Boom, boom, boom. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? You know me. I don't know nothing about no gamer or nothing. But I don't play video games. I don't do it. But if that's what he want to do when he go, whatever he wants to do, and I can make that point, man, and it stick with me for all these years, and I still think about it.
So I want to say so. My wife said something that I totally agree with. She said we as a people, we're very reactive and not proactive. So I do, and I think we've got to do better at being more, not just proactive, but even in the reactivity of our community, we have to sustain. Like once the emotional reaction wears off to a situational dynamic, we might, because we might not shop at Target for the next couple of weeks, and then we back shopping at Target. You know what I mean? So I agree. We've got to be more proactive, and then and when we do have an emotional reaction to something, we have to then follow it through and see it through with the steps that are necessary to vocalize, because what you do with your dollar, you know what I mean, matters way more to folks than what people said. You know what I mean? So to that end, or to that point, I also want to say this, that a couple things can be true, right? I feel like absolutely we need to understand. Like I had a 4th grade teacher who, to this day, man, I'm thankful for Mr. Nellis for instilling this or driving this. He said, "Life's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Life is not fair." But while we understand and deal with the paradigm from where it exists, we also push the needle to where it's supposed to be and should be as well. So we gotta hold these people feet to the fire, especially when there are people who are in elected offices. We gotta hold their feet to the fire, hold them accountable for the actions that they take with positions that are funded, that whether I voted for you or not, part of what comes out of my paycheck pays your salary. So if I voted for you or not, I have every right to hold you accountable for the decisions that you make while in office. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think both can be true.
Mm-hmm. I think it's not all even about just people being in office and having political positions. I think when you think people have power, like we have power at all levels. I went through this training. It's called Undoing Racism, and one of the questions that they ask is, who in this room feels like they're a gatekeeper, right? And who in this room feels like they have power? And looking around, culturally, there's that piece of it where people don't want to feel like that they have authority and power over people. But just in general, I think when you ask somebody at a job, what do you feel like you're a gatekeeper for any information, a lot of people will say no. Like if you're not the CEO or COO or have a fancy title, people will say I don't have power, when the reality is you likely have more power than people in those positions, right? Because one, if you're the person that's out there doing the work, right, you're the person that's out there giving decisions, right, to the people, or giving information to the people in charge, you have power. And working for a government agency, there was a individual in there that was that controlled, or that actually took and modified data and put it in reports for the mayor. And I'm like, how do you not see yourself as a gatekeeper? like you can have this man out here lying, right, about everything just by putting a report together that has incorrect or incorrect information, right? So yeah, you're absolutely a gatekeeper. And I think we all have to kind of recognize what our power is at what level we are to be able to kind of support the mission. And for me, one of the things that I have influence over is creating a team, right? And the people that come in and are a part of my team, I can pick who I want, right? And I probably want people that look like me, because I know, like, the people that look like me or came from where I came from are marginalized people, are people that didn't always have opportunities, are people that are looking for a step up, are people that are looking for the next opportunity. So I feel like it's my job to make sure that I'm offering that opportunity. That's where I can gatekeep. That's where I can make sure that I'm having an influence on society, or how I'm supporting DEI efforts, right? By providing those opportunities for the people that I know need them. And not necessarily because they're a friend, not necessarily because they're a relative, but making sure that, we are represented in these in certain areas at this point, place of a government, or when working for a nonprofit, for in the human services sector, right? But I think we all have to recognize what we can do and not look at it from a deficit perspective. And everything Tracy is putting in the chat is a hell of a lie, because never would I ever.
Well, I mean, you don't know till you know, right? I mean, you can be saying that now.
Nah, man.
I know.
I'm about to say you don't know. What you have known is you've known Isaac
for a long time,
over 20 years, bro. You know.
His no's are very strong. His yeses are strong too, as well. I'll just round it out by just saying that, bRho, you're right. We are responsible for our own destinies. If we put our destinies in the hands of, let me finish the statement though. If we put all of our destiny into other people's hands, then essentially they have control of our futures. And I think for what Tracy was saying here is that, start a business. I mean, many of us have businesses already, and we hire people, and we have the opportunity now to write that chapter, to write that book, for them and for us. I heard a Black business owner who's done very well, and actually, by love, we saw him the day after your birthday, or day after your birthday when we were out. He said, what success is for me? When I did a holiday party, and I overhear one of my staff say how, they're able to pay for their child's education so that they can go to school and to be able to get an education and to go do the things that they want to do. Or when someone's able to buy a house, or when someone's able to take care of an elderly parent, that's because that person created the opportunity. They didn't put their destiny in the hands of, and I'm not saying it's wrong to work a job. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you want more for yourself, then there is that opportunity as well. All four of us here are alphas, right? One of the things that we learn very early is how to be resourceful. We learn that, when we talk about no excuses, what we're saying is that, have you exhausted every possible avenue before you said, I can't do this, or this isn't possible? And 9 times out of 10, we haven't done that. And so as a
I think that I'm not saying it's all. I'm not invalidating what you're saying. What I am saying is this: is that is what we're up against when we're talking about, the eliminating of DEI. Is that, this is why, hey, have you exhausted all your resources or options to, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps before we run?
Yeah, I wasn't really going in that. I wasn't going in that direction with it.
But that's what that kind of
so let me Yeah, I hear you. I do, because I can see how that can go in that direction. So I do hear that.
And
I
when
think my question is though is at, we've already seen. I would just say for Black and brown people have already seen us do this. Unfortunately, those things got burnt to the ground. But I've seen us, Black Wall Street, North Carolina, Detroit, some of these Rosewood, some of these places where we said, all right, you know what? Y'all got y'all thing over there. This our thing. And we gonna thrive. And that's what happened. But, folks was like, well, wait, hold on. We can't let that happen. So we burned it down. I'm not saying that can't happen today because it could. But what I'm saying is that, like, there are opportunities for us, and I think it starts with us coming together and having a plan. Now we say that till we blow in the face, but I think the part that we have to work out is the fact that I believe the resources are not finite. I actually believe the resources are infinite. I believe that there's enough money for myself, Bilal, Isaac, and Brew to go around. I believe that there's enough money in this Rochester community to go around where we don't have to feel like we all chasing the same bag. I believe that. I believe we see it all the time. I mean, how do you have somebody go from 1 million to 1 billion? Like, it's out there. And I sometimes think that as a people, at least in my own community here in Rochester, I think people that think that there's only a finite amount of resources. I don't believe that. I believe there's an infinite amount of resources. And if we thought that, I think our thinking would be different with how we approach each other. Like, for example, like, as somebody who was doing photography, right? I'm thinking like, oh, if I'm doing a wedding and I can't do the wedding, well, I'm gonna go to somebody I know that does weddings in my network and be like, hey, you want to do this wedding? Like, I'm not thinking like, oh, they're gonna steal my client. I'm thinking like, hey, I made a good referral. Hopefully that same brother or sister, whoever, will come back around and be like, hey, Trey, man, I can't do this wedding. Can you do the wedding? Like, these are the seeds that we gotta like set for each other, right? Like, I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna hold it and do it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where, and Brew, you probably see this in the motherland. Like,
I see it all the time.
That's what they do. That's what we, at least in Rochester, Brew, I don't know, DMV, I think they're doing a lot better than us in that regard. But we don't do that here, man. We all thinking like, I got my t-shirt company, you got your t-shirt company, or I got my consultant business, you got your consultant business. Don't you know if we brought all the photographers and videographers together, we'd have a Tyler Perry studio. And we'd have more than enough work to go around. And not only that, if we're the only people in town, then people got to come to us, and then we could dictate what the prices are. And that's what I think, that's what the majority has been doing since the beginning of this country, has been doing that. But we haven't all caught on to that. The Tracys of the world have. The Leonard Brocks of the world have caught on to that. The Bruises of the world have caught on to that in your community. And I mean, you got people right now, you talk about gatekeeping. We got our own people gatekeeping right now. They got the keys to the kingdom, and they don't want to give it to us because they probably think we're gonna squander it, or they might just think because you're not part of us, what we doing, then we're not gonna give it to you. I think
they're not done getting it.
We gotta stop.
They're not done getting it yet. I think that's the only.
At 80 years old,
listen,
bro, you can get that up.
Nah, like some again, like how old is 47?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to not want power until the day that he dies. Like, and that's the only time that his narcissistic ass is not going to want power, man. Like, when he's dead, because he can't strive for it. There are people like that. There are people like, I'm going to hold on to every bit of information that I have, or I'm going to take it with me, or, I'm just going to make sure that it only goes to my family, right? There, and then there's other people that is like, they have the opportunities, they have the the opportunity to be at that level and do those type of things, and they don't want it, right? Because what they are more excited about doing and happy, about doing is giving things to others, giving their assets away or giving that knowledge away. That's one of the things I truly respect about Tom Golisano, man.
I was just about to say his name. Yeah, man, he been doing it.
Like
That's the white man right there.
He's not taking that money with him. Like he's putting it to work. Like he opened up an institution that is focused on helping people, supporting young people, old people, anyone that is looking to get into business.
Because the local
he's been doing that for years, though, bro.
I mean, yeah, absolutely,
years.
There's
he
people
got tired of the red tape, right? He got tired of the red tape too with the some local universities. Yeah, he was like, "Yo, what did y'all doing?"
Hey, listen, man.
And now already that organization has partnerships with two handfuls of colleges and universities. Kind of creating that 2+2 atmosphere where you can transfer from there and get a degree. So I just got I got respect for him because he's out there doing it. His team, he's got a diverse team there, and he's one of those people that have the resources, have the means, supporting his family, but also making sure that he's giving back to his community and the people around him as well too, right? And we have people in all communities that are doing that as well too across the nation. And I think it's highlighting those efforts and not letting the media push the efforts of Tom, Dick, and Harry, who's not doing the same thing.
I look at me a couple of years ago, man. I was out of a job. And I say this, and up to today, man, y'all was thinking about it, it got on my nerves. I reach out to a brother, man, and I say, hey, he has a position, he's in the government, he knows some things, a lot of people. And he's down in this area, in the DMV area. And I hope you're listening too. I said, hey, I'm looking for a job. And, could you point me in the right direction? I want to send you my resume. His first question was like, how much resume did you send out today? And on that day, I must have sent out like 45 resumes. I just send them out. You know what I'm saying? When I told him I sent out around 45 to 40 resume, he said, well, you need to send out 80.
Yeah, get out of here. That ain't the right answer, bro.
That's a dumb answer.
Bro, listen, man, let me tell you something. When he said that,
pissed, bro.
When he said that to me, you know what I'm saying? Spring 89, number 3. You hear me? When he said that to me, I got real quiet. I said, this is the dude that put paddled my ass? This is the dude that...
It was legal back then, everybody. I understand.
I said, oh, really? No problem. Every time I see him, I shake his hand. I don't think he understands the magnitude of what he said to me, right? Because I haven't got the space to address him yet about it. I want to see him at one of these reunions. I'm gonna address him. You know what I'm saying? I saw him December 4th. I went to an event down here. KEL have an event down here and saw him. That, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? I'm looking at him like, what's good? You know what I'm saying? You know me, I'm cold as ice, baby. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Where you at now? You still at Bowie State? I said, nah. I left there. Remember when I was trying to get a job? Remember when I told you I left, blah, blah, blah? He's like, he looked at me. But I guess he see my face like, yo, yeah, it's not time to ask me no questions. And he tried to grip me, man. I just shook his hand. I just grabbed his hand real tight, just shake his hand. You know what I'm saying? So he knows we had something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I hated that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of your young bro. And you have the connection. But you could send me, hey, I need donation for this, I need donation for that. You send me every one you send me. You know what I'm saying? No problem. I'm gonna address it though. I ain't forget about that.
You gotta address it, man.
Oh, I'm gonna address it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna address it. I can't wait for the next reunion to show up. I'm gonna pull him to the side. I'm gonna pull some old school brothers like DQ and a couple of them other cats there, man, that I respect. I can't have none of. I respect all y'all young ones, but you may say something when y'all around. I may hooked off, but them old school ones, because for me, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I just laugh when I see him, man. And he knows that he knows.
But that's the inside stuff that I know we don't like to talk about a lot because it feels like family business.
Let's talk about it, bro.
But I mean, but it's valid, like super valid.
It's valid.
You know what I mean? Because when people say like, "Oh, why don't I?" Well, because we do this to each other sometimes.
That's the reason why I brought this up.
Yeah.
This is close. This is close.
Yeah.
Close. You know what I'm saying? This cat that put me on.
Yeah. This the talk we gotta have with each other, man. Like, yo, if I come to you and I'm asking you, like, I didn't even tell you to give me. All I said was, can you point me in the right direction? That's it. That's all I asked. Like, I don't need a mini lecture on how many resumes I should have sent out. You got cats out here sending no resumes, getting 100K. But you telling me I gotta man. Nah. And you got it in your hands?
New Sigma got a brother, man. New Sigma got a brother named is Marcus Parker.
Yeah, I know that brother.
Spring night, fall.
What up, Mike?
Number 8. That's my guy. Shout out to
Marcus Parker, man. That's cool, brother.
My guy. Mm-hmm. Shout him out.
That's all I'm gonna say. Well, speaking of shout outs, we at that point.
Yeah, we had time.
It's about 12:35, man.
Yeah, my wife already done sent me angry emojis. So yeah.
You sent you angry emojis?
Well, he lying. He sent her angry emoji because he's hungry.
I ain't even gonna show y'all because everybody else gonna see it. Then I'm gonna have to sleep up here.
It looked like based upon what you just said, that's already the case, brother. So you better get the groveling.
Hey man, let me start with the shout out, man. Hey, shout out to my dean, man, Patrick Setch. He celebrated his milestone birthday, man.
Yes, sir.
Sorry I couldn't make it up to the Rock, Dean. I had nothing but love for you, man. I know my LB Mike. I think he was in the chat or something.
He in there.
Mike, my number 2, salute. I made it up. I told you Bobby wasn't coming, so I know Mike laughing right now. But Dean, sorry I couldn't make it, man. But we'll talk on the side about that. Shout out to everybody in Rochester, man, and your family, Miss P, Carla Toy, love and respect, Ezra, Shatoya, Brandy, much love.
Shout out to my mom again. Getting another year. You know what I mean? God is good. Shout out to my nephew. To my amazing wife. She was in the chat today. Like, she don't really be in the chat too much. She always watching. But if she chatting, that means we must have said something worth talking about. So shout out to my amazing wife. And
that means like whenever she don't put something in there, that means we won't be talking about nothing.
That's what man. Don't do it like that.
It ain't like that. It ain't like that.
So now when I don't see Satoya in the chat, I'm gonna be like, she didn't like what we talked about today?
Nah. I'm messing. I'm clowning. She be doing homework.
Clean that up, man.
You about to sleep on the couch too, bro.
Well, she originally got on because
my name Balel, not Kareem. My name Balel.
See, I was about to have your back, Balel, but now I'm gonna be quiet.
The chat, baby.
I was about to have your back.
You should still have it. I mean,
man, you don't stab me in the leg, bro. I'm trying to have your back.
But there she goes. She naturally quiet, and she be doing homework. So Monday.
Now we appreciate you tuning in then.
Yes, sir.
So
sis, we appreciate you.
Take it easy on Bilal later. Take it easy on
yeah.
We made a little boo boo.
But yeah, listen, it just everybody that was in the chat today, man. We appreciate you. We, Tracy, Chanel, Stanislaus, much love, bro. Again, Echo and Brew, man. Trick, happy 50th, man. Godspeed to you. I'm wishing you many, many more. Again, still sending prayers and condolences to Shock, man, brother Shaka, man. On the passing of his dad. So we still praying for you, man. You in our thoughts and prayers, man. So again, you just know that. And hey, everybody, man, stay blessed, stay positive. You know what I mean? Stay up, man.
Is Mike still in Rochester?
Who's that?
Mike. He's still in Rochester?
I don't know.
I hope not, man. I live in Rochester, and I know.
Hey, man, listen. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut y'all off, man. It's been freezing down here in the DMV, bro. I'm waking up
everywhere. Yo, they got snow in Jamaica.
Yes, in Portland. Yes.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Mike is back in Florida. Thank you, Lord. My son is back home, baby. I hear you.
You ain't have to say it like that, Mike.
Hey, listen. My son got up out of Brockport when he graduated. He's like, "Oh, I'm not staying here." He was out.
Yo, I mean, your blood.
If you know Mike, that's definitely his personality. Like, yo, he out on the first thing smoking. Like, yo.
The next time you're gonna see Mike is gonna be in summer months because he had to get a jacket. He ain't never had to put no jacket on. He had to dig way deep for that damn jacket he had on. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna see Mike another summer. Hey man, listen.
I mean, we're gonna be in Nashville this year though.
Mike pulled out the Avarex.
Oh, the Avarex. Wow. I heard that in a minute. Well, I want to shout out to my beautiful wife, Brandy Hayes, and I want to shout out to my family. I want to definitely shout out my pops, my dad. Celebrated his 72nd birthday on Saturday. So I want to shout him out. And still going, still kicking, still playing lotto. Doing what he needs to do.
Don't put that man business out here in the street.
Man,
I know he's gonna be mad. I said that too. He's gonna be
I'm gonna tell him
mad for him.
Yo, Kareem, you just be making enemies, man.
No, man.
Making enemies out of loved ones.
Oh man. Yeah, man. I definitely want to shout out, man, to you brothers as always, and definitely appreciate you brothers, man, and definitely really I'm always looking forward, man, to us getting together to hang out. I'm glad we've been able to keep this thing going. So yeah, shout out to my daughter. Played a good game today. She's getting really dope at basketball. Yo, bro, she's jumping for rebounds now, bro.
That's good.
Like today, she jumped, and everybody looked was like, "Whoa!" So she's definitely embracing that five, man, for sure. My son, his team, they've been struggling this year, but they won their first game on Saturday, so it was good, man. It's good all around. So shout out to them. Shout out to the coaches for all the work they've been doing, and shout out to Rice Sun Peas.
If I come to Rochester, I would like to work with her too, man.
Hey man, if you was up here, it would have been nothing. I'd have been like, yo, she need to work, and she listens too. She's coachable. My son, he's good. We working on him, but my daughter, she's coachable.
That's your kid, man. It's your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter's Brandy's daughter. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's all I got.
All right. I just want to give a quick shout out to one of the strongest women in the world that I actually never met, Melania Trump. I don't know how she does it.
Man. Good night. We out of here, y'all.
Listen, she's an immigrant and she lives with the devil. Like, yo, and somehow, like, every once in a while, she has a smile on her face.
Yo, you talking about me being random?
Trump,
You talking about me being random?
Yo,
she said she's an immigrant and lives with the devil. Yo, that's wild.
The wild part about that is like, I'm like, oh man, like, I was like, yo, Yo, that's the most beautiful thing I think I've ever heard Isaac say.
Hey,
about
I was just about to
except
say.
it what did it?
Hey,
Except it didn't end up being about Ezra. You know, like, yikes. Like,
Oh man,
yo,
nah, she already knows. You know, she's got a place in my heart forever.
hey, man.
A place.
I wonder if Isis
I only got one.
Melania's
I only
door,
got
man.
one. That you can't fit much in there. You know what I mean? But yeah, so shout out to everybody who was in the chat. We appreciate y'all tuning in. It's late. I'm not about to go down the list, but you know, I love all y'all, my family. Shout out to my brothers. Shout out to my
Marcus.
all of them. Shout out to my parents. You know, all the good people in my life, and of course, you know, oh no, I have to do this one. Shout out to Ava. Like, this little girl is about her business, man. She's like got a play that she's going to this week, and she's doing that while juggling like gymnastics practice, you know, 3 days a week. Like, I don't know where she finds the energy. Today she came home, and you know, we were riding home from Hilton, and she just like, yo, daddy, I'm tired. And next thing I knew, like 30 seconds later, I turned around and she's knocked out on the back seat. So, you know, I just want to, you know, at her young age, man, the drive and determination she has to do the things she loves, man, I love it. Like, as adults, man, I think, you know, we can learn a lot from that, man. If there's something that you want to do, something that, you know, brings you joy, like, do it. And, you know, that's always been my message for like the last year, man. Do the things that make you happy. So that's my parting words for everybody. You know, just make sure you do something this week that's going to make you happy. And then, you know, as Kareem said, you know, what makes him happy is supporting Black businesses with food. So if that's your thing, you know what I mean? Do that. All right, everybody.
Go eat.
All right. Hey, shout out to Mark Hudson, frat, retired firefighter. Shout out to you, frat.
Oh, yes, sir. What's good, frat?
Peace.
It's RPI. Oh, no. He's with what chapter was that? Rashad, right?
I didn't hit end stream yet. You want me to hit end stream?
Oh, keep going. If you hear me, Mark, shout your chapter out.
I don't know.
All right.
It's a lot of new alphas in Rochester, man. I don't know half of them dudes.
Yeah, he not new though.
Oh.
Yeah, he been around for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Alpha Omicron.
Right.
Yeah, AO, there it is.
Yeah.
What school is that?
I think that's Morehouse, right?
It's a HBCU, huh?
Johnson C. Smith, right?
Oh, down. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Johnson C. Smith. Yeah, with Rashad. Yep.
Rashad,
yep. We got you, frat.
Yes, sir.
All right,
salute. All right, bros.
Peace.